There are three things that mice and rats and rodents in general like the most: nuts, fruits, and seeds. And when you get a mouse inside your house, you'll often find that mouse somewhere where there are either nuts, fruits, or seeds. Now often below a stove, within the panels below the stove and beneath the stove itself, there are fruits, seeds, and nuts. Another place that you'll find where mice like to go is beneath a refrigerator. And beneath refrigerators, you will find fruits, seeds, and nuts. You'll also find fruits and seeds and nuts inside a dry storage pantry where you have peanut butter and fruits and things like that that have any kind of fruity flavor. Now, there are several ways to handle a mouse. The old-fashioned way and the most standard way is the trap. Now, the snap trap is probably the most effective way to catch a mouse. When you place a mouse trap down, it's very important that you do one thing. Do not put the mouse trap sideways. Do not put the mouse trap that way. Don't put it that way. Always put it this way against the wall. Why is that? Because the mice run along the edge of the wall, just as so many rodents do. And on the tip itself, put a gummy bear. And on the gummy bear, make sure that that gummy bear is attached tightly to the snap trap, to the snap. And then rub a little peanut butter on top of the gummy bear. That way, when the mouse comes to take the bait, it will have to work to get it off and will not lick it off, just simply lick it off. So that's how you set a trap. And when you go to set it, by the way, do this with it. Take the edge, and when you take it up, go like this and put your hands around it like that. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a mouse trap or a rat trap. Always keep your hands over this way. That way, if you snap that, nothing happens. Most people go like this, and they're scared half to death to put that down anywhere. And when they do put it down, suddenly it snaps and it scares them to death, and they go away and they never want to touch it again. So always just put your hands around it this way. Hold it and put it back. Right there. Very simple. There are other ways to catch mice. They include glue boards. Many people are against glue boards. They don't like them. They think they're inhumane. And in fact, they are inhumane, in the sense that the snap trap kills the mouse instantly. The glue boards take more time to affect the mouse. With a glue board, you want to take it and put it along the edge of the wall like that, because that's where the mice run. You can fold them up and make them in a folding form like that, and if you do, then you'll place it this way along the wall, and they will go inside there. So those are the two ways that you can catch them inside. There are other ways. Mice do not need bait to be caught. They instinctively will enter any hole. They'll instinctively do two things. They'll instinctively follow a wall, and they'll instinctively enter a hole. So a mouse will automatically come into what's called a tin cat trap. And you can buy tin cat traps at your Home Depot and different stores. You can even call a pest control supply store and buy these. And they come up here through this entry right there. And once they go into that hole, this thing comes down and they go inside the center and they can't get back up. And they're caught in here. Without food and water, they die quite quickly. It's not a very long time before they've found their end. Again, you always put it along the edge so that the holes are along the edge of the wall. This is called a catch-all. It runs on the same basis. It has that hole, no bait, and inside you will find the mouse when he's gone through the hole and been tripped via a spinning trip that when it's tripped, he'll fly into this section right there when he trips that. Again, you need no bait. An additional note though, if you do decide to gain their interest a little bit, you can put bait outside like that and outside like that. You can do the same thing with a trap. You can put bait on both sides of the trap so that they'll eat it and become comfortable with it before they go to the mouse trap. And the last thing you can do is put what's called a Protecta bait station. You can buy them online. Protecta. Now these are for the outside. And if you have one on each side of your house, and you do the same thing around the outside of your home, you put it right along the edge, and you make sure to secure it with this. You place a rod in there and you hammer it down into the ground, and it will secure it to the ground so that children and animals can't get into it. And it's the law that you do that. It's important, very important to do that. You want a tamper-resistant bait station. Children and animals cannot get into them. But they'll go into that hole and enter that way, and they will enter the interior of it, and the bait is placed right in this area, and they will eat poison bait and then leave. And generally it takes 2 to 3 feedings. These work on a basis in which they work they thin the blood to the point where the rodent bleeds internally. That's how most baits work. Some work just the opposite. The antidote for these baits, if you ever did have a child or an animal that got into it, is vitamin K1. So you want one on each side of your home. Now you can do this legally yourself, and or you can hire a professional to do it. The industry would love to have your business, and the benefit of having someone who is a professional in the industry is that they are adept at dealing with challenges that come along the way with not only rodent issues, but they can also advise you with other pest issues that you may be dealing with. So it's always worth your while to have a pest control operator if you have an issue that you can't seem to get control of. Mice are relatively simple to get control, but they do breed internally. They breed quickly within your home, and for every one mouse inside the home, you want 6 traps placed. So if you have one mouse in a kitchen, you want to place 6 traps. One on a counter here, one on a counter up above somewhere, one down below the stove, one behind the refrigerator, and one perhaps near the garbage, and maybe one by the entry of the door. That's how you would use regular traps like these. This kind of trap will catch many mice at one time, but still you're going to want probably 3 of these types of traps inside to try to catch a mouse that's in your home, especially if you have a larger kitchen. If it's a small kitchen, probably 2 would suffice. Okay, I hope this has helped, and we'll continue with other issues as we move along with this channel. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot for listening. Bye-bye.